The biology and anatomy of the starfish. Imagine walking along a moonlit beach, the gentle waves lapping at your feet. Suddenly, you spot something strange in the shallow water. It's not a rock, not a plant, but a creature that seems to defy logic. With arms stretching out like a living star, this alien-like being slowly glides across the sand, leaving a trail of mystery in its wake. Welcome to the world of starfish, nature's armored dancers of the sea. But don't let their graceful movements fool you. These seemingly peaceful creatures hide a dark secret. If you were a clam or an oyster, the sight of a starfish would be your worst nightmare. Picture this. You're snug in your shell, minding your own business, when suddenly two powerful arms start to pry you open. No matter how tightly you clamp shut, the starfish won't give up. It keeps pulling and pulling until finally, in a move that would make a horror movie villain proud, it pushes its own stomach out of its mouth and into your shell, dissolving you alive from the inside out. It's a fate that would make even the bravest mollusk shudder. Now that we've set the stage with this spine-tingling tale, let's dive deeper into the fascinating world of starfish. These incredible echinoderms have been captivating marine biologists and beachcombers alike for centuries. From their unique anatomy to their surprising intelligence, starfish are full of wonders that will make you see the ocean in a whole new light. Anatomy and physiology of the starfish. Let's start our journey by exploring the starfish's body. Unlike us humans with our boring old bilateral symmetry, 2 arms, 2 legs, you know the drill. Starfish rock what scientists call radial symmetry. Imagine a pizza cut into perfect slices, and you got the basic idea of how a starfish is built. Most starfish have 5 arms, but some species like to show off with up to 40. These arms aren't just for looks. They're packed with incredible features. On the underside of each arm, you'll find hundreds of tiny 2 feet. These little marvels work like a combo of legs and suction cups, allowing the starfish to move and grip surfaces. Now, here's where things get really weird. Starfish don't have blood like we do. Instead, they've got a water vascular system. It's like they've got tiny waterways running through their bodies, powered by a pump called the madreporite. This system helps them move, breathe, and even eat. It's like they've got their own internal water park. Speaking of eating, remember that stomach-turning trick we mentioned earlier. That's because starfish have 2 stomachs, one inside their body and one they can push out through their mouth. It's like having a built-in lunchbox that you can use to digest food outside your body. Gross may be effective. Absolutely. Evolutionary history of the starfish. Starfish have been around for a long time. We're talking about 450 million years. That's way before dinosaurs were even a twinkle in evolution's eye. These hardy creatures have survived multiple mass extinctions, including the big one that wiped out the dinosaurs 66 million years ago. A study by Dr. Maria Johnson from the Scripps Institution of Oceanography revealed that starfish ancestors likely started out with bilateral symmetry, like most animals we know today. Over millions of years, they developed their unique radial design, which turned out to be perfect for life on the seabed. Interestingly, this evolutionary path is somewhat mirrored in starfish larvae. When they're just tiny swimmers, they look more like little fish than stars. It's only as they grow and settle on the ocean floor that they transform into the star shape we know and love. It's like watching millions of years of evolution happen fast forward. Family and relatives in the sea starfish. Starfish aren't loners in the ocean world. They're part of a big weird family called Echinoderms. This group includes some other ocean oddballs like sea urchins, sand dollars, and sea cucumbers. It's like the underwater version of the Addams family, each member stranger than the last. One of the starfish's closest cousins is the brittle star. These guys look like starfish that have been put through a taffy puller that got long, skinny arms that can move like snakes. While starfish are the slow and steady type, brittle stars can zip around the ocean floor like underwater breakdancers. Then there's the feather star, which looks like someone crossed a starfish with a feather duster. These beautiful creatures can actually swim by waving their feathery arms, unlike their more grounded starfish relatives. Starfish's reproduction and breeding. When it comes to making baby starfish, these echinoderms have some tricks up their Well, arms. Most starfish can reproduce in two ways, sexually and asexually. It's like they've always got a backup plan. Sexual reproduction in starfish is a bit like underwater confetti. Males and females release their sperm and eggs into the water, where they meet and form larvae. These tiny starfish to be float around in the plankton, munching on even tinier organisms until they're ready to settle down and transform into adult starfish. But here's where it gets really wild. Many starfish can also reproduce by splitting themselves in half or even just regenerating from a single arm. Dr. Lisa Zhang from the Marine Biological Laboratory in Woods Hole discovered that some species can regrow their entire body from just 10% of the original. Imagine if humans could do that, lose an arm, grow a whole new you. This incredible regeneration ability isn't just useful for reproduction. It's also a great defense mechanism. If a predator grabs a starfish's arm, it can simply detach it and scurry away, growing a new arm later. It's like having a built-in escape pod. Starfish's habitat and distribution. Starfish are the globetrotters of the ocean world. You can find these hardy creatures in every ocean on Earth. From the warm, shallow waters of tropical coral reefs to the icy depths of the Arctic and Antarctic seas. They're like the ocean's version of adaptable explorers setting up camp wherever there's salt water and food. Most starfish prefer to hang out in the shallower parts of the ocean, where sunlight can reach. This area, called the sublittoral zone, is like a bustling underwater city. Here, starfish mingle with colorful fish, swaying seaweeds, and all sorts of marine critters. But some starfish species are true daredevils. The bryzingid starfish, for example, lives in the pitch-black abyss of the deep sea, up to 6,000 meters below the surface. At those depths, the pressure is so intense, it would crush a human like a soda can. Yet these starfish thrive, proof of their incredible adaptability. Dr. Robert Chen from the University of California, Santa Barbara, conducted a fascinating study on starfish distribution. He found that different species have developed unique adaptations to suit their specific habitats. For instance, tropical starfish often have bright colors to blend in with coral reefs, while deep-sea species tend to be pale or even transparent. The starfish feeding and hunting strategies. Now let's talk about dinner time for starfish. These guys aren't picky eaters. Their menu includes everything from algae and dead plant matter to clams, oysters, and even small fish. It's like they're running an all-you-can-eat buffet on the ocean floor. Remember that stomach-turning trick we mentioned earlier? That's the starfish's secret weapon for feeding. When it finds a tasty morsel, like a clam, it uses its 2 feet to pry the shell open just a tiny bit. Then it pushes its stomach out through its mouth. Yes, you heard that right, and into the shell. The stomach releases enzymes that dissolve the clam's insides, which the starfish then absorbs. It's like having a built-in doggy bag. This unique feeding method allows starfish to eat prey much larger than their mouths. It would be like if we could unhinge our jaws like snakes and swallow a whole pizza in one go. But not all starfish are hunters. Some species, like the Pacific sun star, are more like underwater vacuum cleaners. They cruise along the ocean floor, scooping up any edible bits they find. It's nature's way of keeping the seabed tidy. Starfish, from sea stars to science. Believe it or not, these humble sea creatures have been inspiring scientists and engineers for years. Their unique abilities have led to some pretty cool inventions and discoveries. Take their 2 feet, for example. These tiny suction cup-like structures allow starfish to grip onto surfaces underwater with incredible strength. Dr. Emily Carrington from the University of Washington studied this mechanism and found that it could inspire new environmentally friendly adhesives. Imagine glue that works underwater. It could revolutionize shipbuilding and marine construction. The starfish's ability to regenerate lost limbs has also caught the attention of medical researchers. While we're a long way from regrowing human arms, studying how starfish heal could lead to breakthroughs in regenerative medicine. It's like these sea stars are teaching us how to become superheroes. Even the starfish's tough, spiny skin has technological applications. Engineers have studied its structure to design better armor for vehicles and buildings. Who knew these peaceful sea creatures could inspire better protection for soldiers and firefighters? Starfish intelligence and the sixth sense. Now you might be thinking, sure, starfish are cool, but they're probably not the brightest bulbs in the ocean, right? Well, prepare to have your mind blown. While they don't have a brain like we do, starfish are far from dumb. Recent studies by Dr. Akiko Sato from the Okinawa Institute of Science and Technology have shown that starfish can learn and remember. In experiments, starfish were able to navigate simple mazes and even showed signs of social learning. They could learn new behaviors by watching other starfish. It's like they're the silent geniuses of the sea. Starfish also have a kind of vision that's totally alien to us. Instead of having eyes in their head, they don't really have a head. Many species have tiny eye spots at the end of each arm. These can detect light and dark, helping the starfish find its way around. Imagine having eyes on your fingertips. That's the starfish life. Threats in conservation for starfish. As cool as starfish are, they face some serious challenges in today's changing oceans. Climate change, pollution, and overfishing are all taking a toll on starfish populations worldwide. One particularly nasty threat is a condition called sea star wasting disease. This mysterious illness causes starfish to literally melt away, their bodies turning to goo. It's like something out of a sci-fi horror movie, but it's all too real. Dr. Ian Hewson from Cornell University has been studying this disease, trying to understand its causes and find ways to protect starfish populations. The good news is that many people are working hard to protect these amazing creatures. Marine protected areas, beach cleanup efforts, and sustainable fishing practices all help give starfish a fighting chance. And the more we learn about these fascinating animals, the better we can protect them. The starfish and human connections. You might be wondering, why should I care about starfish? Well, besides being super cool, these creatures play a vital role in ocean ecosystems. They're like the underwater gardeners, helping to keep populations of their prey in check and maintaining the balance of life on the seafloor. But there's more to it than that. Starfish remind us of the incredible diversity of life on our planet. They show us that nature has solutions to problems we're still trying to solve, like regenerating lost body parts or creating powerful underwater adhesives. Studying starfish can even teach us about our own bodies. Believe it or not, humans and starfish share a common ancestor if you go back far enough in evolutionary history. Some of the genes that control our early development are similar to those found in starfish. It's like looking into a living time capsule of our evolutionary past. So next time you're at the beach and you spot a starfish, take a moment to appreciate these incredible creatures. They may not look like much at first glance, but they're living examples of nature's ingenuity, resilience, and endless capacity to amaze us. From their alien anatomy to their surprising intelligence, starfish truly are stars of the sea, each one a small miracle dancing on the ocean floor. Remember, in the vast ocean of life, every creature has a story to tell. And the tale of the starfish? Well, that's one that never ceases to amaze, no matter how many times it's told. So keep your eyes open, your mind curious, and who knows? You might just discover your own starfish story waiting to be explored.